Hello and welcome back to another week. We've got a few jobs on this week, and we start by heading over to Altrincham, where our code to exit escape room site is. And we've got some interviews on today. We're hiring for another person over there because someone left a while ago, and we just need a little bit more support, so we've got all the cover that we need. I take over the rug we bought, get that laid out, and then I start by setting up the game that we're going to put the interviewees through, and today it is Dark Ages. And then Chris turns up. There he is, and he's going to be running the game today. And then the interviewees start to turn up. We normally start by just getting everyone to have a bit of a chat. Tell each other about themselves. So we'll be playing a game with each other now for an hour, so it's good just to try and ease them in a little bit. Chris gives a briefing there, and then they are into the game. We then head over to the renovation house, and I start taking out these little spaces from when we did all the tiling. We're ready to grout. The next day we head to the distillery. So it's a distillery day normally on a Tuesday at the minute. Trying to make it fairly regular because John, the new production guy that started with us, comes on a Tuesday, so it's a good time just to show him everything while I'm there. Start by setting up, get the gin running, strain the ingredients, stick that in the still, and John starts bottling. I do a few jobs. I have to go get a key cut for him, just so he can kind of come and go as he needs to, because I need to head off a little bit later before he's actually finished. So I actually had to come back home just because my daughter was ill today, so I had to work from home a little bit.
Unescapable. You just had a missed call from this number. Oh, right. When are you looking for?
So I decided to do a little bit of admin, catch up on paperwork. On to Wednesday. So we start by going down to the distillery. I've got this storage container that we just stick a load of junk in and stuff from our house and little bits for work. So I'm going to drop some stuff off, so I'm emptying out the office at home. Head into the distillery, drop a couple of little bits off. And I've got to go pick up a few bits from Screwfix before heading over to the renovation house. So today I'm going to be grouting the tiles that we did last time. Start just by cleaning the top, making it nice and neat before I get going. Just easy to clean rather than letting it all build up and doing it all at the end. Screw these wall cupboards into each other just so they don't move around. And I've had this tape stuck on this worktop quite a while from when I cut the hole for the gas hobs, and it was a bit too sticky, so I had to take a bit of time just to clean that up and get it all sorted. I then mix up the grout and just start putting it onto the wall. Get it in all the gaps, smooth it down. I have this float that kind of pushes it in. Then once it's set for a half an hour to an hour, start wiping it down with a sponge just to get the excess off. Then we pack up and we are done at the house for today. On Thursday I spent a bit of time trying to sort out the office a bit more. It has become a bit of a mess, a bit of a dumping ground. So I clear this space, start building some shelves just to make everything a bit more organised. I've got a bit more time to catch up with some admin paperwork again, just at home. Then head back over to the renovation house. These are all our tiles nicely grouted now. Just give them a bit of a wipe down where there's some excess that I didn't quite get off. Once it's all dry, it's a bit easier just to polish them all up and make them nice and clean. Turn the power off, reconnect it with the Wago. I'm then back on to doing some more electrics. So there is this back box that I need to put on for the cooker hood, which I broke unfortunately last time when I was installing it. So I just stick that on, wire that up, make it nice and safe. So I do have an electrician booked in to come and change the consumer unit and hopefully give me an electric certificate. So I'm just trying to sort all these sockets, make it as smooth as possible, so if there's any problems, you can deal with it while he's there. This was the socket that was broken. We had one of the wires inside that did break, and it kind of popped and again caused the electricity to blow. Tested it all back up, made it safe. And spend a bit of time going around, just swapping all the other face plates. This one here, because the plaster had gone over the back box a little bit, I had to chip away some just so the faceplate could fit in place once it was wired up. It's a little bit of a boring job, but it does give it a nice finish once they're all on. Things start coming together a bit more once they're there, it looks nice and new. I then try and get into the loft. So we have a false ceiling, then we have a loft above it, which I've never been into. Try and open that hatch to crawl in just to see where I can see these wires. That was actually above the bathroom ceiling there. I need to fix this pull cord. So on Friday I do get a little bit more time off. I don't have to drop the kids off at school in the morning, so I get a bit more time at home just to relax. So a little bit of a slower start. Be contacting the applicant.
Oh, that's good. One of the questions. So we thought you came across well. One of the questions I had was just around availability and how it would work with your other.
To be honest, like with the other role I got, it's really flexible because I like manage my own booking, and to be fair, there hasn't been much. That's why I've been looking for like extra work.
It's Tom from Code to Exit. Just trying to get hold of you, just following on from the interview that you came in on Monday.
Made our decision of who we wanted to start. Just giving them a call and offering them the job. Fortunately, I just have to then call the others, let them know that they didn't get the job. Kind of fairly used to it now, so it's not as bad. Go over it, answer any questions they might have. Then we head over to the renovation house. So we've got a few more sockets to change upstairs. And we just start working through those. So this is in the loft where I was trying to find the cable that runs into the bathroom, just to see if it was going to be a big problem or not. There was a chance that we're maybe going to have to cut a hole in the false ceiling that we put in place in the bathroom. So I want to check it out before the electrician comes to see what the likelihood was of that. Then move on to the sockets and the light switches. So it's fairly slow and steady, this. A lot of these little jobs that need doing just to get the house ready for selling. Power back on, nothing's blown. Stick this little socket tester in just to make sure everything works and it's all done properly. And then pack it up and head back home. Give everything a bit of a clean up, because the electrician's coming. I like to be nice and tidy. I think it's better if the place is tidy, than tradesmen and everyone else that comes do treat it a little bit better. If it's a bit of a mess, then they can just add their mess onto it and they're not too fussed. So head back home. I then have a bit of a job to sort at home. So we had an extension done a couple of years ago, or a year ago. Put some network cables in which just had standard ends on them at this end where it plugs into our router. And the type of cable that they used is for fixed sockets that go into the wall, the data points. And there's always been a problem, always been breaking. The speed in the other rooms where these cables lead to have been a bit of a problem. So I decided to have a go at putting in an actual fixed data point behind our TV rather than having these loose cables around. First time I've done this, get a new little tool, push these cables into the sockets, put the back box on the wall, wire them all up, and then stick the modules into that back box. It's a nice neat job, and once I tested it, it gave us a full speed for the internet, which is great. And that's the end of my week. So if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.